Horace Mann took on Fieldston. Would the Lions pull off the upset? Let's find out.
Then they played Calhoun in a big game. The sophomore stud scored 30 points. More coming up later. Next, they traveled down to Brooklyn to play Poly Prep.
And later, the Lions traveled to Trinity to take on the Tigers. That's all coming up right now.
Here for the first game after break, the Lions took on Fieldston. Backs losing the ball, but Thomas Schnepp banks it off the glass. Thomas Schnepp with a deep two-pointer here, but Fieldston would respond with a nice dish and pass to the Fieldston big man, which he would put up and in. And going into the second half, Fieldston led 22-16 with the buzzer beater. Let's see what Sullivan had to say to pump up the Lions.
The ball's going to get all right, let's work this. Let's go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, live!
Let's see how Horace Mann would come out in the second half. Thomas Schnepp buried the three. Here you have Andrew Bax knocking down the three-pointer, doing what he does. Unfortunately, the sophomore only had 2 field goals on the night. Here's the second one, which put the Lions within 1. Here, Thomas Schnepp grabs the rebounds over 2 Fieldston big men. What effort by the big man. Here, early on in the fourth quarter, Stephen Hefter knocks down the 3, eventually giving the Lions a 32-28 lead. Nevertheless, Fieldston quieted Horace Mann's run with a nice shot there. And a ridiculous dunk here. Ace Cook running into him, doesn't really know where he's going. Let's check out the instant replay. What a jam! You don't see that at this level very often. But this layup here caps a 16-0 run by Fieldston, which led them to win 47-37 in the Horace Mann loss.
For their next game, the Lions took on Calhoun. Early on, Thomas Schnepp turns garbage into gold. What a nice putback, but back the other way went Calhoun with a nice layup of their own, followed by this nice jump shot to give them a 10-5 lead. Nevertheless, Horace Mann's going to respond. What a nice shot by Thomas Schnepp, compliments of Elias. Now, Andrew Bax, a sophomore stud. Don't know him already? I suggest you get to. Come on, give me a Chem 7 and a CBC, because he was critical, hitting 8 threes on the day for Horace Mann, and put up 30 of Horace Mann's total 59 points. That's more than half of the whole team's. And he just wouldn't stop, shooting 80% from behind the arc. Release, rotation, splash. And once more his last 3 on the day. Once again, 8 3-pointers and 30 points. He gave Horace Mann a good lead, however. Calhoun tried to stage a comeback of their own. There they make the game a 3-point game. However, Thomas Schnepp, another sophomore stud, would respond with that 3-pointer. And in case you didn't know, he's averaging 14.5 points. He may be big, but he can shoot from outside the arc as well. There's 1 3, and making a nice move on 2 Calhoun players. And look at that drive as he gets up and puts in the nice layup. Horace Mann would go on to win by a score of 59-46. Horace Mann continued on their 6-game road trip. Their next stop was in Brooklyn against Poly Prep. Early on, they hit a nice jump shot deep in 2-point territory, but Thomas Schnepp of Horace Mann's going to follow. He was feeling it. Here he makes another nice move and hits the shot from the free throw line. But back on the other end was Poly Prep. They make a nice layup here, almost a no-look shot, but 3-ball, corner pocket. Thomas Kim is going to respond, but the first half swing back and forth. Here Poly Prep hits a nice jump shot, and they went into the half with a 4-point lead by a score of 24-20. So the second half we go, and Poly Prep was in the zone. Here they knock down the 3-pointer, and see the 3, be the 3. Poly Prep at it. Waiter my tray. Poly Prep is pretty hungry because they're knocking down one shot after another. Here's one more, and that's enough to give Poly Prep a 56-42 commanding victory over Horace Mann.
Now let's take you on over to Horace Mann versus Trinity. As you see starting off, Horace Mann really off to a great start. Backs to TK right there. He puts it home, 2-0 lead for Horace Mann. Later backs for 3. That's going to give Horace Mann another lead. Early lead, they ran on a 12-0 run to start off. Backs with the fadeaway, great shot. And that was actually at the buzzer. And that's a great end for the first quarter for the Horace Mann Lions. Later on, backs again for 3, doing what he does best, AB. And now Schnepp with the turnaround jumper, shaking and baking his way through the defense. Horace Mann now, it's their turn to play defense. They're going to protect this house on their own end. Trinity missing, Horace Mann securing the rebound. Again, Trinity trying to take it home, but no. A great rebound, again secured by the Horace Mann Lions. Bernie Rollins this time. Bernie, he's going to get a jumper to go from the top of the key. Horace Mann really pulling away in the second half, and now a floater from Bernie. He really got it going there. And it was smooth sailing for Horace Mann from here on out. They went on to win the game 48-33.
Well, it was a solid performance by Horace Mann overall. They're 2-2 in these past weeks, putting them at 4-5 overall, and 2-2 on the Ivy League regular season. They've had a very tough schedule playing Collegiate and Fieldston, both very competitive opponents.
Yeah, but they have a lot to look forward to going ahead. They can build off of a very strong start to the season, and they also have some key matchups coming against. First, they take on Collegiate on Wednesday, and then they take on a night game against Dalton at 7:30. So really, some big games coming up for Horace Mann, but they look to build off a very, very good start to the season.
Yeah, so we had a couple close games so far and a lot to look forward to in the upcoming weeks. Here from the Lions Report, I'm David Hackle.
I'm Jack Dolgen.
And I'm Ben Green.
Thanks for watching. Here's your play of the week. In the game against Calhoun, Elias makes a great pass to Thomas Schnepp, who lays it in the air. Now, on the instant replay, watch Thomas pick and then roll as Elias passes it to him, and again, leaps up and puts it in.